Grab your craft journal and let's have a talk about some essential craft items you're going to need on your journey. Hello everyone and welcome to Crafting with Delonda. It's me again, Delonda, and thank you so much for joining me today. In today's chat, I am going to be sharing with you 10 items that you are going to need on your crafting journey. It doesn't really matter if you're at the beginning, the middle, or the end of your crafting journey. I don't know why you would be at the end, but just in case you are, I'm still sure you're going to need 10 of these things. Now, I am going to go through them one at a time. 5 of them are actual things, and 5 of them are not really physical products, but they are things you have inside of you. Now, at the end, only at the end of this video, if you find it helpful, please remember to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the bell for notifications because I do upload new content every single week. Now, without further ado, let's start with the 5 things that you're going to need that I had no idea that I would need when I first got started crafting. The number 1 item on my list of things you're going to need is a lint roller. Now, my favorite brand at this point is Evercare. They come in rolls that look like this, or you can get the reusable roller so you don't have to replace the roller every time. You just replace the actual, the part that's sticky. I like this brand. This one has lasted for a very long time. The reason you'll need a lint roller is to remove the lint from your item. You need the lint roller to remove the lint from any item that you are going to be pressing before you actually start pressing. Now, this is not really considered as a craft item. It's probably a household item that you already have, but keep one in your craft room, handy and close by. Let's move on to item number 2. Item number 2 is painter's tape. Now, you won't necessarily need this much painter's tape, but I have a lot just in case I run out. You are definitely going to need painter's tape, and you can use it for multiple reasons. As a matter of fact, I recently started my embroidery journey, and I use painter's tape all the time to keep the fabric in place. As a Cricut crafter, you will probably need painter's tape when your mat starts to lose some of its stickiness. It will help you keep the vinyl in place as you're sending the mat through the machine. You can also use painter's tape when you're doing those heavy duty projects, like when you're doing engraving or you're using the knife blade. This helps to keep the wood on the mat. It also helps to keep the acrylic in place on the mat. You will have multiple uses for painter's tape as you get started with the different types of blades, especially if you have a Cricut Maker or a Cricut Maker 3. Let's move on to item number 3. Item number 3 is good old aluminum foil. This is just a ball of aluminum foil, and I use this periodically to clean my blade. Now, what I do is just push the blade out and you just kind of poke it through the foil. And because I cut a lot of rhinestone flock, this helps to get the adhesive from the rhinestone flock off of my blade. So you just poke it through several times and it will keep the blade clean and ready for use. I use this not just with my Cricut blade, I also use this with my Caesar blade. So keep a ball of aluminum foil close by. You're never going to run out of this. Just keep it in a ball. I just keep mine over here in a little cup on my pegboard. Let's move on to item number 4. Here is one of my Cricut mats, and this is an older mat. It's not that sticky. So in this case, I would use my painter's tape, and I would use my 4th item that I'm getting ready to share with you. And let me show you. So I'm going to just add a little bit of tape to the sides just to keep the vinyl in place so that when I send it through the machine, it's not going to lift. And I will use my brayer to make sure the vinyl is adhered to the mat. Now, when I first got started, I did not think a brayer was important, but as I've been crafting, trust me, a brayer is very important. Yes, you can use other things. I've heard of people using, Coke cans and, soda cans and those kinds of things. Nothing will replace a brayer. Get a brayer. All right, let's move on to the fifth and final thing that I didn't know I would need at the beginning, but now I know, and I want you to know too. The fifth and final physical product that I suggest you have that is not really considered as a crafting thing is alcohol. So this is 91% isopropyl alcohol. You can always call it rubbing alcohol. You will need this on your crafting journey because as you're working with blanks, hard blanks or glass or sublimation blanks that are hard, you will use the alcohol to clean off the blank. It will remove any of the oils from your fingers or any fibers or anything that's on the glass to clean it off. This is just the cloth that comes with infusible ink, and these are perfect for cleaning off. So I would just put my hand inside and clean it off just like this. So those are the 5 physical things that are craft essentials that you will need to keep in your craft room. Now, are there other things that you'll need that I didn't list? Yes. I don't want to overwhelm you, especially if you are a beginner. There are things that I just want you to know that I wish I would have known at the beginning. Now, I'm going to take a seat when I share these last 5 things because I really want to have a heart-to-heart talk. One of the first things you're going to need actually can't be bought in a store. It can't be purchased anywhere, and that is time. You are going to need time to learn the software. You're going to need time to learn, which materials you'll need. You're going to need time to watch tutorials and make mistakes. You are going to need time. There is no such thing as a quick project when you're just getting started. As a matter of fact, there is no such thing as a quick project, even as an experienced crafter. When you really put your heart and your soul and your effort and everything into your work, you are going to want to take your time and do it right. So carve out time. I see it as the same way you would schedule a doctor's appointment. You know that on Tuesday at 1:30 you have to be there, and it might take an hour, right? It might take you 15 minutes to get there and 30 minutes to see the doctor and 15 minutes to get back home or whatever. Block out time for yourself for crafting. So do it at a time where it's quiet in your house and you know that you are not going to be bombarded with distractions from your significant other or your children or work or other commitments. The only way to really get good at crafting or get into your craft is to carve out time. The next thing you're going to need is space. Now, I know that for some of us, we don't have a designated crafting space. When I first got started, I actually started at my kitchen table, and I would just sit right there and spread things out and do all of my crafting there. And then I quickly outgrew that, and I moved to a small corner in my son's room where I had a folding table, and I outgrew that. You will find what works best for you. This table right here is a staple in my craft room. I actually have 2 of these, and it works very well for, spreading my materials out and crafting right there, and then even having space for the heat press. But you will find what works best for you. If space is a concern, my advice is to get a pegboard. A pegboard will help you with storing all of your, quick tools that you will need. And really, it doesn't matter where you're crafting if you have a pegboard, because everything is just on the wall and is out of the way. I have all of my Cricut tools hanging on my pegboard, and I have my mats right below that. You will find what works best for you. My advice, though, is in addition to getting a pegboard, if you can start with a small one. They have them even at Dollar Tree. Is to have a workspace. Get your materials out ahead of time and kind of lay it out. Okay. All right. Let's move on to item number 3. The third thing you're going to need, and this is something that you have inside of you, and you're going to have to activate it. As a matter of fact, for these last three things, these are all attributes and qualities that you already have inside of you that you are going to have to activate. And the first one is patience. You are going to need an abundance of patience, because as you're learning how to use new software, or you're learning how to use new materials, or you're watching a tutorial over and over again to try to get, whatever the craft down, you might make a mistake. And guess what? You are going to learn from that mistake. So actually, when you're learning a new craft, mistakes are a good thing. And I know this might even sound kind of crazy, but think about learning that fire is hot. Someone can tell you don't touch the stove because it's hot, but until you actually touch it, you really don't realize how hot it is. And after you touch it that one time, you don't need to experience that again, because that experience taught you just how hot it is. As you're learning new crafts, as you're learning, what type of vinyl to purchase and making mistakes about that, as you're learning how to use the software and when to mirror the vinyl and when to not to mirror it, and when to, put like items together, or learning about sublimation, whatever the craft is, it is going to take some patience. And when I'm saying patience, I'm not saying patience with the software. I'm saying patience with yourself. You are going to have to be patient with yourself and not try to rush the process. And so because I really, really feel that way, I would highly suggest that as you're learning the software, you take it slowly and start with projects that are on the easier side, and don't start with any crafting hacks. You will see all kinds of hacks come across your page, and that is not the starting point. That is what you do at the end. Start with the easy stuff where it might be just like one layer of vinyl. Let me give you an example. This right here, this container came from Dollar Tree, or $1.25 tree, $1.25 tree, whatever you want to call it. This container came from Dollar Tree. They also sell these at Walmart, but I think they're like $5. But anyway, this is adhesive vinyl. This is a fantastic beginner, easy project that you could do if you haven't done any other projects before. This just says Crafting Snacks. I just chose a font and put it on there. I used some adhesive vinyl. I think this one, I forgot what this one was called, but I do have a tutorial on how I did this, and I just added my favorite candy to it. This is a very easy beginner-friendly project that you can start with. It doesn't require an SVG. It's just 2 words that I typed. Another example of a quick and easy first project would be to make a shirt. This shirt right here just says crafting is my therapy, and I used glitter heat transfer vinyl. This is just one color of vinyl. It was easy enough to weed. It was easy enough to cut. It doesn't require a hack or too much extensive knowledge. These are 2 beginner-friendly projects that you could do that don't require a lot of patience and maybe not even too much time. Okay? All right, let's move on to number 4 in the list of non-crafting products you will need. Number 4 is grace. And you might be thinking, well, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by grace? You're going to make mistakes, right? Let's just say you're making your shirt for the first time, and you've gone through Cricut Design Space, and you've cut out the vinyl, and you've gotten to the end, and you realize, oh my goodness, I used the wrong type of vinyl, because you thought that you had these 2 types of vinyl, right? These 2 types of vinyl look the same, and you didn't know that there was a difference between heat transfer vinyl and adhesive vinyl, and you thought that you just needed the right color. Well, that's okay. That is a beginner mistake. That's a mistake that even some experienced crafters make. One thing to know is that you are going to make mistakes, and it's going to be okay. And what I really want you to focus on when you think about that, because if you're the kind of person who is very hard on yourself and you really always strive for perfection, what I like to say is that perfection is overrated, right? There's no prize for perfection. As you're learning, like I said, you're going to learn from your mistakes, and the mistakes are actually going to be better teachers than any tutorial you will ever watch. This right here is heat transfer vinyl, right? And let me just tell you a little story time. When I first got started crafting, I had no idea that there was a difference between heat transfer vinyl and adhesive vinyl. All I thought I needed was just the colors. I was just like, I want to have every single color there is to have. And as a result of not knowing what I was purchasing, I purchased all this vinyl that I ended up not even needing. And another piece of my story time, I didn't even know what HTV was. HTV is heat transfer vinyl. That means that this vinyl requires heat. This vinyl is adhesive vinyl and it doesn't require heat. This is for if I wanted to make another candy jar, I would use this type of vinyl. Okay, so you're going to need grace because you are going to make mistakes. And so if you're typically hard on yourself, throw that out the window because that will stop you dead in your tracks as you're learning how to do a new craft. All right, let's move on to the fifth and final thing you're going to need. And honestly, this one is the most important in my opinion. But after I share it with you, let me know. Leave me a comment below and let me know which one you feel is the most important. But here we go. My fifth and final thing that you're going to need as a new crafter is perseverance. And you might be wondering, why would perseverance be more important than patience? Or why would perseverance be more important than grace? Or why would perseverance be more important than time? Perseverance is going to be more important than all of those combined because your goal as you're learning is not perfection. Your goal is completion, right? Because as you're going through the process and you're making mistakes and you're getting frustrated and you're getting, feeling like you are overwhelmed or, you just want to throw the Cricut out the window or it's hammer time, you are going to need perseverance to start what you finish, right? So as you start a craft, start one craft. Make it your goal to finish that one craft as you go along. And once you finish that craft successfully, if you're taking notes in your journal, you're making a note of your mistakes. You're making a note of your materials. You're making a note of how much time it took. You're learning. And when you finish, you are going to feel so successful. And then everything that I've said will make sense. But please leave me a comment below and let me know which of these tips or essential craft items you found to be most helpful or, something that you didn't even think about. If you did find this helpful, please remember to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the bell for notifications because I do upload new content every single week. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thanks for watching. Bye.